The Witcher, what have they done? This episode kind of encapsulates everything that's wrong with the show. They drop in terms or names that never explain them, the timeline is a mess, and it has a severe problem with miscasting roles. This is the character Triss Merigold in the third game, and this is a woman doing cosplay of the same character. Now, I've had to clip this image because, let's say, the lady in question made certain modifications to the outfit. How do I put it? Well, traditionally, Triss in the games, in this outfit had trousers on, but this lady thought, nah, won't need them. It's a bit hot for that. I didn't want to just put the image up without a warning, but if you really want to see it, I'll put it up right at the end along with the clips that I always put in because they make me laugh. I'll put in a timestamp if you really want to see it now or if you want to skip it. Now, I don't perfectly understand why so many women like cosplay. I can guess, but I'm not sure I really want to know. I'll maybe get into why I don't later, but I would describe the outfit from the games as highly individual. It's kind of become an iconic look. It has a bold collection of colours, it's not very revealing, and looks quite practical and protective, while still being overtly feminine and pretty. The costume designer on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt frankly did a fantastic job. Now, do you want to have a look at Triss from the series? Are you sure? Okay, here is Triss Merigold from the series at the party at Aretuza, the school for young witches, and what the hell have they done? That outfit is hideous. Who is responsible for this? It's not like the actress is unattractive, but they've made her look like a clown. That colour hair with that eyeshadow is revolting. The hair makes it look like she's crawled backwards out of a hedge. This is the way another woman would dress this person if they hated her. This is how a woman would dress bridesmaids on her wedding day if she didn't like them or didn't want them to upstage her. The interesting styling of the third game has given way to this. And if I'm noticing this as a guy, the cosplay women would not be caught dead in this getup. They take cosplay extremely seriously, and when they do it, it all seems to be outfits from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Then we have the body positivity twins here, Margarita and Kira, and I'll add in a third. I'll throw in Sabrina as well. Now, in the books, Margarita was described as younger looking than Tessaya de Vries, tall and fair-haired, and later in the book it said even marble statues of goddesses and nymphs would have blushed at the sight of Margarita Laurentiel undressed. Kira is described in the book as a short, slim sorceress with long, straight, straw-coloured hair, and Sabrina was described as dark-haired, wearing a black chiffon blouse and crimson skirt. So with that said, we have those three characters here on screen now. Now, based on those descriptions from the books that the showrunners claim they're trying to be more accurate to, if you didn't know, could you even tell me which witch is supposed to be which? If you don't know, Kira is supposed to be the one on the left, and Sabrina is on the right. I would not blame you if you didn't know, because no actress seems to share a single feature with the characters described in the books. In the books, Kira got a broken leg not long after this scene, and Geralt had to carry her up a flight of stairs. They cut that scene for some reason. Probably because they couldn't afford the money required to insure Henry Cavill's back. The original books are not exactly big on diversity. They're written by a Polish author and based loosely on Polish history and folklore. So surprise, surprise, most of the female characters are based on Polish women. And I'm not even sure Triss's is the worst outfit at the party. Philippa Eilhart appears to have come as the rear end of an ostrich. Show, this was your opportunity to get very creative. The books described a fantastical scene of lights and magic, a chic event where the sorceresses were all dressing to upstage each other, a table of ridiculously expensive and rare food that everyone was too snobbish to eat, and instead we get this dour scene. This is a party filled with arch magic users. How did you manage to make this boring? Just about the only outfit that kind of gets the right tone is Tessaya de Vries. Yennefer's outfit is also kind of horrible. Geralt's looks okay, but what have they done to Yen? She's looking very thin, and their outfit just makes her look thinner. She's in a sword fight next episode, and it must be magic because I can see no other way she could even lift anything much larger than a rapier with those arms. And from the evidence, I can only conclude that Margarita and Kira have been eating all of her food. Has anyone seen this woman? Incidentally, if anyone has seen that woman, I'd kind of quite like to meet her. I don't know what's going on. Is this a feminist thing? Is there some kind of rule I don't know about in feminism that means women can't dress well? Is it trying to undermine gender dynamics by making women dress in a way that will repel any straight man in a 100-foot radius? I don't get it. It seems perverse to me that feminism seems to hate femininity, whereas men, despite women's best efforts to make it otherwise, seem to still quite like it. I'm not sure as a guy, it's a good thing to try and understand what's going on in women's heads. I've tried to look and understand. It can be kind of dark in there. Frequently a lot of insecurity, a rapacious desire for power that they entirely intend to abuse, and quite a lot of hatred for men. At least they kept in the scene, with Geralt telling Yennefer he loves her for the first time, even if it wasn't quite as good and was in a completely different place. But Anya Chalotra and Henry Cavill don't have bad chemistry. But the show also has a problem with time. The show will jump forward and back in time without letting the audience know when anything is supposed to be happening. And does this make sense from creatives that think American audiences are too simple-minded to understand nuance? Does it make sense to jump forward and back in time like you're deliberately trying to confuse people? The story of this episode happens all in one night, and it's all over the place. The episode starts with the very end of the night, at least I think it does. During this scene, Yen asks Geralt, "Did you see what Sabrina was wearing, by the way? She's older than me." And they just consistently get Yennefer's character wrong. She's ruining the moment. She's supposed to be a near 100-year-old sorceress. She's very experienced. She doesn't swoon. She doesn't get flustered much. If anything, in the books, Geralt is the more romantic one of the couple. She's a hard woman who, in spite of herself, grows to love Geralt. There was supposed to be a whole quite good love scene here that they mostly cut from the series. Geralt and Yen then share a kiss, and it cuts to the title screen. After the title, there's a time jump, and we're now back at the beginning of the evening again, but the show neglects to tell the audience that
she's safe in Luxia until dawn.
Oh great, Ciri is apparently safe in Luxia. What's Luxia? It wasn't a problem in the book, where it actually explained what that was. It's kind of the Academy's reception area. I'm not sure why in the series it's a cabin. Sabrina comes over to Geralt and Yennefer and flirts with Geralt in front of her, putting naughty images into his head to annoy Yennefer.
Geralt, this is Sabrina Glevisig of Ardkere, a school friend of mine.
And why the hell did Yennefer ask if Geralt saw what this character was wearing?
Did you see what Sabrina was wearing, by the way? She's older than me by about...
Yeah.
Of course he saw. She was right there. You were there when he was talking to her. In fact, you introduced her to him.
Geralt, this is Sabrina Glevisig of Ardkere, a school friend of mine.
And frankly, people are going to remember that dress. They may not like it, but everyone will probably notice it. She looks like she's one sneeze away from a wardrobe malfunction. In the series, this scene was kind of playful. It wasn't so in the book. Most of the sorceresses are pretty hateful in the book. This is from the book. Geralt is listening to two of the sorceresses, Sabrina and Marty, talking. He discreetly focused his sensitive Witcher hearing, pretending to be utterly absorbed by the prawns. "With Yennefer?" enquired the redhead, playing with a pearl necklace cord around her neck like a dog's collar. "Are you serious, Sabrina?" "Absolutely," answered Sabrina Glevisig. "You won't believe it, but it's been going on for several years, and I'm surprised indeed he can stand that vile toad." And that's kind of what the sorceresses are largely like in the source material. They've kind of been changed in the series to suit the showrunners' politics again, so the sorceresses can't snipe at each other or be the characters they're supposed to be from the books. They have to instead support other women like they're good feminists. Valdo Marx is also back to annoy me again with his singing.
All is not as it seems. They're made by day, her lips are sweet, her words a gentle thrill.
Jesus.
And this episode is all quite political. Battle lines are secretly being drawn. The Brotherhood of Mages is divided. There are mages that back the Northern Kings. There are mages that back Nilfgaard in the south, and some are undecided. During the party, the factions are all trying to recruit people to their cause. On the surface, everything seems nice and friendly, but as the music unsubtly says, all is not as it seems. Then we jump right back to the end of the evening again. Then it jumps back to the middle of the ball again. We're 10 minutes into the episode and they've done 3 time skips already. We started at the end, went back to the beginning, played through to the middle, went back to the end, back to the middle again, end again, middle again, end again, then right back to the start again to show you what happened from a different perspective. You get the idea. It's all pretty infuriating, but that's the review part over. Now to have a look in the mailbag. I received quite a nice message that made me laugh about a previous episode and the issue of Codringer's trapped door handle. That mysterious looking door with the creepy carved knob on the side of a public street must have impaled the hands of half of the curious children in that city. And yes, they didn't think it through, did they? It's a medieval fantasy. None of the kids have PlayStations and their door has a fancy lion's head door knocker. I mean, the door got mentioned in season 2 where it talked about 20-inch metal spikes.
You're lucky the trap's broken. Usually it shoots 20-inch metal spikes out the studs. Got a hawker a few nights ago.
But by the time they made the door in season 3, inflation must have set in and all Codringer could afford was one 6-inch spike. And you're right, it makes no sense to just have the trap go off.
You're lucky the trap's broken. Usually it shoots 20-inch metal spikes out the studs.
Got a kid playing Knockdown Ginger the other day. And if you do that sort of thing, it probably won't be long before the parents of the town try to burn your house down. Now, do you want to see the cosplay picture? Are you sure? Okay, you asked for it.
Jesus.
You've got spunk and balls. And I like that in a woman.